Hi, I'm Professor MJ and I teach statistics at a Canadian university. My goal is to help you make money in the sports betting world. Last week in the wildcard round, I made 3 official picks against the spread. The lone losing bet was the Bills minus 6.5, while the other 2 were winners, the Ravens minus 3 and the Saints minus 10. Many people have asked me to recap my preseason win total predictions. Remember that I previewed each of the NFL 32 teams while making a pick on the over or under for their win total. Those plays were largely based on the simulation of 1 million seasons using the projected point spreads on all 256 regular season games. It turned out that 20 picks were right versus 12 that were wrong, a nice 62.5 win rate. I ended up racking up more than $8,000 on those bets. I wanted to go to Vegas to place larger bets, but COVID-19 prevented me from making the trip, unfortunately. It's now time for my divisional round picks against the spread. Buckle up, here we go! In the first game of the weekend, the Rams will be facing the Packers, where Green Bay is established as 6.5-point favorites. When the line opened at 7, I was clearly leaning towards the Rams. Early money agreed with me and went heavily on Los Angeles, so sportsbooks had to drop the line to 6.5. Since then, I have heard that bettors are hammering the Packers. After analyzing the game in depth, I am now betting Green Bay as 6.5-point favorites. Most of the time, I go against the public, but not this time. The Packers are the number 1 seed and coming off a bye week. As mentioned several times this season, getting additional time to heal and game plan has produced a much bigger advantage to great teams, as opposed to weaker squads who do not seem to make good use of this extra time. Now, I believe we can all agree Green Bay is a solid team. On top of that, the Packers will be facing a banged-up team. Jared Goff, John Wolford, Cooper KUPP, and Aaron Donald are all hurt. They will likely suit up Saturday, but won't be 100% for sure. Also, LA is not used to playing in cold weather. We are expecting below zero temperature, a situation where Aaron Rodgers is 29-7 straight up. The Rams defense has been very impressive this season, but here's a jaw-dropping statistic. They allowed an average of 13.5 points per game at home versus 23.5 on the road. That's a huge difference. They haven't been nearly as stifling as visitors this year, and I do believe Rodgers and company will find a way to move the ball, especially if Aaron Donald is slowed down by his injured ribs. Green Bay is a perfect 6-0 against the spread in the last 6 meetings with the Rams. They are 11-6 as home favorites since Matt LaFleur took over as head coach. Rodgers and Goff did face off against each other in 2018, a game in which the Rams won 29-27 in LA. Now Rodgers will get the victory by at least 7 points this time around. So my official pick goes to Green Bay laying 6.5 points against the Rams. The second game of the weekend involves the Baltimore Ravens facing the Buffalo Bills, a game in which Buffalo is a 2.5-point favorite. Born in Florida, Lamar Jackson said it would be his first game playing in the snow, if the forecast is right about getting close to an inch of snow this Saturday in Orchard Park, New York. That would make the field more slippery and therefore more difficult for him to shake and bake as a runner. That's one of the reasons why I'm going with Buffalo as 2.5-point favorites. The Bills will also be at home for the third straight week, while Baltimore will be traveling for a third consecutive time. Also, the Ravens lose one day of preparation after playing last Sunday and now playing Saturday. That's not a huge blow, but it's still worth mentioning. Some things are scaring me though. Baltimore is 6-0 against the spread as an underdog in the playoffs. They also match up fairly well against Buffalo, since they led the league in yards per carry on offense, while Buffalo's run defense finished 25th in that category. Also, the Bills pass the ball often, which happens to be Baltimore's strength on defense. They were much softer against the run this year. Still, I'm going to go with Buffalo, whose offense has been much more convincing. The Ravens were struggling against a bad Titans defense last week, until Lamar Jackson scored on a 48-yard scamper that completely changed the game. Despite a recent surge by Baltimore, the Bills seem to be the stronger team, and they will be at home on a cold day. They have been one of the hottest teams in the league during the latter portion of the regular season, and they have what it takes to win their first Super Bowl ever. So my official pick in this game goes to the Bills laying 2.5 points against Baltimore. Divisional Round game number 3, the Cleveland Browns playing at the Kansas City Chiefs, where KC is 10-point favorite. This won't be an official pick since I don't have that much confidence. But if I were forced to bet this game, I would go with Cleveland as 10-point underdogs. However, I do not like the fact that the Chiefs are coming off a bye. Under such circumstances, Andy Reid is 20-3 in his career, an astounding record. Kansas City will also be at home for the 4th straight week, which means they did not have to travel and will be well rested. Still, I am leaning towards the Browns due to their strong running game, facing the Chiefs' front seven that has been soft at times this year. Cleveland will be looking to control the clock and leave Patrick Mahomes on the sidelines as much as possible. After throwing 7 interceptions over the first 7 games of the season, Baker Mayfield has thrown just 1 in his past 10 matches. He has significantly improved and he seems to be playing better since Odell Beckham went down to an injury. The Chiefs have beaten the spread in 5 of their past 6 matchups at home against a team with a winning record, but they are just 1-6 against the spread as favorites recently. One more thing prevents me from pulling the trigger on this one. Was Cleveland's win in Pittsburgh last week their Super Bowl? Their subconscious might feel like they've already accomplished something great, and they may not be as hungry this week in Kansas City. So there's no official pick here, only a lean on Cleveland plus 10. In the last game of the weekend, the Tampa Bay Bucks will square off with the New Orleans Saints, where the Saints are 3-point favorites. You know how much I love the revenge factor. Beating the same opponent 3 times within the same season is very difficult. That's the challenge the Saints will be facing this Sunday. And that's one of the reasons I'll put my money on Tampa this weekend. Now, am I super confident the Bucks will advance to the NFC Championship game? The answer is no. The Saints might win a close game. If you back New Orleans, your ticket will be a winner only if they win by 4 points or more. To me, that's less likely to occur than Tampa either winning the game or losing by less than a field goal. Sure, the Bucks are 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 meetings with Sean Payton. They were also 1-4 against the spread as road underdogs recently. However, Since their shameful 38-3 loss to the Saints in Week 9, Tampa has scored an average of 34 points per game. It took them more time to develop chemistry on offense, and they have since added Antonio Brown to the mix. New Orleans has beaten the spread the last 4 times they were home favorites, but they post a disappointing 1-5 ATS record as playoff favorites over the most recent years. I expect a very tight game that could go either way, in which case I prefer to side with the underdog. So that's why my official pick here goes to the BUCS plus 3 points. This is an exciting time of the year where we now have the NFL, the NBA, college basketball, and now the NHL all underway. I have not advertised it too much, but I have a list of premium members who receive directly in their mailbox all the bets I am personally making across all sports. They get at the very least 25 picks per week. For example, last week they received 37. Now we had a great 5-week stretch where we won a total of 21 units. Then we cooled off by losing 1.79 units last week, but we erased those losses in the blink of an eye by going 6-2 on basketball wagers during the past couple of days. If you wish to join the list of exclusive members making the exact same bets as me, well, simply follow the link below in the description of this video. Have a great weekend, buddy. Enjoy the NFL Divisional Round.